We're the travel agents coming to you with tips, tricks, interviews, and voyages by cruise. The travel agents bringing you the latest travel news.
Hey, I'm Brian.
And I'm Will.
Welcome to the Travel Agents Podcast. Will, this has been my year.
Yeah, it has. It's been a busy year, but it's been your year.
Yeah, I got back together with the amazing woman I dated a couple years ago. I then asked her to marry me. She agreed. And we got married. We have our first house. Beautiful North Akron. And this has been such an exciting year. We got our kitchen remodeled already with heated floors.
Yeah, I'm very jealous about that. I'm just going to move in and just sleep on your floor, I think.
It's when the rest of the house is so cold, you just get over to that with your bare feet. And it's just, you're like, why don't I spend all the time here? So
yeah,
this has been a very exciting year for me. I have done 6 trips now to Puerto Rico, where my wife is from.
Nice.
Just counted this week. Yes, yeah. 6 times. This island I never really thought I'd go to. Now I've spent a significant time there. My Spanish is slowly but surely improving, though I still consider myself a beginner.
Sure.
It is a tough language.
It's a lot.
You'd sure think it's easy since words like refrigerator are refrigerador and vegetarian is vegetariana. You know, think this should be guitar is guitarra, right? Like, it should be an easy language to grasp, but wow.
Es difícil.
See, when they get going, they get going. But I will say I married the love of my life, and I've been married for about 45 days.
I thought you were going to say 45 minutes. Like, gosh, right out of the ceremony.
Her name is Christina. And how exciting that I get to introduce my wife, Christina, on today's podcast.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Christina. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, guys. This is so awesome.
Yeah, welcome to the Travel Agents Podcast studio.
Oh, I feel honored to be here.
It's nice to finally meet a fan in person, you know?
Yeah, sure.
Well, honey, we got married in beautiful Puerto Rico.
Oh, yes.
And then a couple days later, well, actually, that night started our honeymoon. Mm-hmm. We did 2 nights in Puerto Rico, in Rio Grande.
Yes, Rio Grande, Puerto Rico.
And then we flew to Punta Cana.
Sí.
We did 3 nights at the gorgeous Secrets Tides Resort, all inclusive. And then we flew on a Dominican airline called Aerojet.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Have you never heard of them?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Not Aerojet.
No.
Aero.
A-R-A Jet. Aerojet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a Dominican airline.
Cool. How was it? How was that experience?
It was fine.
It was fine, actually.
Yeah. Cool. It was pretty empty flight, so we got to really spread out.
Sure. Was it a short flight? I would imagine.
Shockingly, no.
Oh.
Go to the map. I would have thought 45 minutes. Nope.
No.
Over 3 hours to get from Punta Cana to Cancun.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is crazy because from Cleveland to Cancun is 3 hours and 40 minutes. You would sure think Punta Cana would be a lot closer.
Yeah.
It's not. Beautiful flight over the ocean, sunshine, all that. But 3 hours later, we found ourselves in Cancun, and we spent 5 nights at the Hotel Xcaret Arte. And I was just thinking, I've been to Cancun a handful of times. I've probably seen about 25 hotels.
Nice. Yeah.
And this, by far, is my favorite.
Oh, yes.
Man, I was so jealous when I heard you guys were going. I was like, man, I've always wanted to go there. It sounds so fun. It's like adult, like theme park almost.
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah.
Xcaret, it's got a funny spelling. It's spelled Xcaret. The X makes a sh sound.
Yeah.
Xcaret.
Yep.
Nice.
Which is, I think it's all homage to the ancient Mayan people.
Sure.
And you see, they add the X everywhere, and you read it like a sh, you know?
Yeah.
So, for example, it'll say, don't be sorry, but it'll be Xorory, shari, right?
Okay.
All that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Anyways, this resort is built into like an ecological forest area, which they have done. Cancun's done a great job to protect, which is why when you go to a resort in Cancun or Riviera Maya, they charge you now this tax of $2 per night for the eco tax to preserve this gorgeous ecological area, so they can't just build tons of new Starbucks and McDonald's on it. It's like, no, it's protected. And for good reason, because it's gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, how far of a drive from Cancun Airport is it to Xcaret?
I would say it was 70 minutes.
Okay.
1 hour and 10 minutes from the airport to hotel. Included in this hotel is a free shuttle.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
A black and pink shuttle that goes back and forth.
I would say pay attention to the timing of your flight with the time the shuttles go, because we had to wait an hour for the shuttle to arrive.
Tempted to take an Uber,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Versus, I think if you go maybe before
6 p.m., then
it's like every 30 minutes.
So.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
But it was great. I mean, the shuttle and the service, it was awesome.
So the park is right in near Playa del Carmen.
Okay.
Which is a fun hustle and bustle area, which has a Krispy Kreme and Burger King. And
That's the reason to go, the Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, there you go. So a little bit of a drive, but well worth it.
Is it pretty close to Tulum?
Yes, it is closer to Tulum than than you think. Because you keep going down south to Playa del Carmen, you get to Tulum next.
Okay.
It's 2 different resorts in one giant complex. You have Hotel Xcaret and
then Hotel Xcaret Arte, which means art.
Art. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I could pick up on that Spanish.
So Hotel Xcaret is family friendly.
Okay.
Hotel Xcaret Arte is...
It's for adults only. But I mean,
16 and over.
16 and over, which is a kind of funny thing.
Yeah.
And I remember being there and looking at people like, wait a minute. Isn't this like an adult only? Because they looked younger.
Yeah, sure.
But it was good.
Hotel Xcaret, the family-friendly one, opened December of 2017, so relatively newer. Wow. And then Hotel Xcaret Arte, where we stayed because it's our honeymoon, we wanted the adults only, opened July of 2021. Now, I really can't stress enough the size, the absolute magnitude of these 2 resorts. Each resort has 900 plus rooms.
Wow.
Which means 2,500 to 3,000 guests per resort, based on how, room occupancy, if you have 1 person in a room or 2 or 3, that kind of thing. So it's not like one gigantic hotel like the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Nope. It's different. It looks like a college campus, but it's covered in different vines and trees and shrubs. So at any given point, you can only usually see one building at a time.
Yeah, I think that's what you mean, right? Like college campus in the sense that different buildings that they do connect to each other or they don't. You remember
There's
that?
a little bit of a walk, but that's actually not true. You're right. Usually they were on the bottom floor, there was like a walk. Okay, good point. Yeah. They connect.
Yeah.
But like in Hotel Xcaret Arte, there are 5 different casas, which means
houses.
Very good. Spread out over the resort. Each house has a different theme. There's diseño, which means
design.
Then there's music.
Música.
Then there's artists.
Artistas.
Pyramid.
Pirámide.
And peace.
Paz.
So we were in the design hotel.
Yeah, La Casa del Diseño.
Which was very cool. It had a lot of different pictures of different architectural feats over the years and different famous designers. And also the building itself was very cool.
It was great. And I remember at the beginning, like the first day you get there, you're like, oh my gosh, because we kept walking and walking to your room. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. But then once you're there for a few days, you get used to it.
Yeah.
And I would say our house, based on the structure and how it is angled, all the buildings, ours was the one nearest to the ocean.
Yes. Great.
Nice. Okay.
So Casa Diseño, if you want that ocean view.
We got the ocean view.
Yeah, that's the one to go with. I think the most exclusive, based on what I've read, is Casa de los Artistas.
Okay.
It's like it has like some exclusive features. But I would say Casa de Diseño for sure.
Yeah.
Like so beautiful. Like you have the ocean and you have the pool.
Each of these different casas have a couple hundred rooms per casa. So you could even hang out just in your own casa because they have there's little gift shops and stuff like that. But one cool thing is This is a very almost like everything's included in the price, which we'll get to in just a minute. Probably the real clincher here, which we haven't discussed yet.
Right.
So we're going to spend time on. But like, for example, every casa has a little workshop in the base of it. For example, in one you can do pottery, and the other one you can do painting. The other one like weaving. You can learn how to do dance in one of them. So that's pretty cool. Yes.
And with that, I remember not really knowing about this, like maybe until day 2 or 3 of being there. And then the thing is, you have to make reservations. And there are limited spaces. So let's say the pottery one, which was near our building, it had like 8 spaces for like a time slot.
Yeah, not a lot.
Right, not a lot. And then later on, you're going to understand why it is a bit complex to book one at 3 p.m. But
True.
But in any case, I mean, I just say that for people that are interested in booking these, to just do it the first day.
Sure.
Go and make your booking early or whatever, and that time that works for you. So
Everything about this resort is a little bit different from what I've experienced for other things.
Okay,
For
how
example, well, like I love the included classes that Christina was talking about. Also, like the spa. The spa's built in such a way you feel like you're walking into a cave.
Right.
And there's all these different cool cave-esque rooms throughout the spa, which lead into a pool, which lead into a tranquil pool area after your spa session where you might just want to relax. Cool. Okay, well, what's so different about that? Well, in the tranquil spa area, which is a pool area, which is actually you're in a river, which we'll get to the river and all. If this is wild. Above you, you have a Indiana Jones looking suspension bridge where people are walking by. And then meanwhile, below the bridge, there's a cutout of the cave, a guy playing saxophone. Very nice, soft jazz.
It is so amazing. Just
With
because
fire going, and it's like,
oh yeah,
where am I?
Right. If you compare it to maybe a regular spa, which is still a nice place, you see very much a building design on any other spa.
Yeah.
But when you go here, you could forget that you're in a resort and think you're out in nature.
Yeah.
Like that is the vibe they're going for you to feel disconnected and very much relaxed.
Wow. Okay. So
And so, well, sorry, just want to be clear. So these, like, while you have these 5 beautiful casas, all connected by various cool walkways and suspension bridges and vines and shrubs and trees and palm trees. You also have a river that just goes around the entire resort, which is inside of cliffside drops on each side.
Yeah.
And you have people stand up paddleboarding through them and kayaking through them and floatable hammocks through them. And you're like, oh, there's just a river. There's also an ocean, by the way, with the beach, but we're just talking about another river that goes around the resort, which is very odd, which is a very cool thing. But and then between the 2 resorts, the family friendly and the adults only, not only is there a river and suspension bridges, but there's also a forest in between them with a walking track, and you feel like you're in the middle of the Cuyahoga Valley National Park.
Oh, cool.
But yet you're between 2 gigantic resorts with beautiful luxury restaurants and spas and stuff like that. You're like, wait, how am I in a walking outdoor like hiking path?
Sure.
Also,
no. When I think of Xcaret, I think adventure, like more like an adventure park type thing.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really expecting maybe some of those spa elements and more of that romantic side of things to it.
Oh yeah, the resort itself, even though it can host so many people, when you walk around, you barely see people. Like it's not like when you're walking through the spa or walking to the suspended bridges that it has, you barely see people around.
Wow.
And I think it's because it's so big and it offers so much that people really spread out.
every single casa has a rooftop pool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So you've spread out, and then there's the main pool.
yeah.
So you're spreading people out everywhere.
Really well, yeah. If I remember correctly, the last few times I've been to Mexico, there have been excursions to go to Xcaret.
Correct.
So, like, that's how cool it is.
Yes.
Other hotels have
Yes.
excursions to go do a
Absolutely.
day in Xcaret.
Yeah. Now, before we get to the most exciting part of this, where we're going to spend the real meat and potatoes of why this resort is so cool.
Okay.
One thing is, with all that you're doing all over Xcaret, you're probably thinking you're going to want to take pictures.
Yeah.
So on the ride from the airport to the hotel, in the bus, the shuttle, they have a TV that turns on that starts to explain about the wristbands and the power of the wristbands that you're about to get.
Okay.
And yes, you do have to wear these wristbands the entire trip.
Most all-inclusives are like that.
Yeah. So it's the wristband to open the door to your room.
Yeah, true.
And
So there's no room keys. That's nice.
Sure.
Right. So this is what you use to access the facility.
They're quite comfortable. It's not like when you go to a concert and you get the plastic ones.
Yeah.
This is like, it looks like an artist made it with like a cool twined rope.
okay.
They tighten it on your wrist. Yeah, it's the cool.
Cool. All right.
Yeah. So the cool part also is that you are walking around the resort and strategically placed
All over the resort.
all over the resort.
But not tacky. They're kind of hidden.
No, they're hidden. Exactly. I think they didn't lose the aesthetic of the place doing
correct.
this at all.
So what are these things hidden all over the resort?
Yeah, sure. These are sensors where you place your bracelet and it activates a camera that most likely is on the other side. And then you look and you get to smile. And these pictures get attached to the information of your room.
Correct.
Oh, wow.
High quality cameras all over the resort, covered and pointed in such a perfect way to any place you would want to take a picture. There is
Oh, that's
one.
really cool.
Hundreds. Yeah.
And I think it's worth it. I mean,
So
the experience, as we're going to go deeper in this, it's not that you only use it in the hotel.
Correct.
You can use it anywhere that has the Xcaret
These sensors.
right
They
sensors.
call them scan stations.
Mm-hmm.
So we were only there for 5 days. How many scans did we do?
A good 100 plus.
Oh, yeah. We easily have at least 200.
Yeah.
So anyways, we totally bought the photo package at the end of our stay. Which,
Yeah.
Which you wish,
There's-
how it works is, per person and per night. So how many people are in your room and then how many nights you stayed.
True.
Okay. Okay.
So $120 later, we have 200 photos.
That's not bad. Yeah, that's pretty good.
High quality. They look great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
They
pretty
look
good.
great. But it's another great marketing way that they can take your money. You can take there were some places that you couldn't bring your cell phone, so you relied on the scanner.
Yeah.
So this all leads us up to anything else, honey, you want to say about the resort before we get to the real meat and potatoes of why this resort, even though it's such a great, beautiful resort, what makes it that 10 out of 10?
No, I mean, if we can talk also about just like the room itself,
Oh, yeah.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It has, I think all of the resort, the rooms have balconies.
Okay.
And
hammocks.
with a hammock, which makes it look even like more relaxing as you look to the building and you see every room with a hammock.
Yeah.
You're like, that's cool. And then I think all the rooms also come with a jacuzzi.
We had an ocean view suite, so we shouldn't say all the rooms come with it.
Well, look, I think all the rooms come with a balcony, but the view you get is going to
different.
be different.
That's fair.
Because you can also have like a garden view, but you still get the hammock.
We had an in-room jacuzzi, which was
Great.
super cool. We
Oh, yeah.
had a walk-in shower that had two different
Shower heads.
Yeah, shower heads.
Were the doors to the bathroom, were they glass or were they wood?
This is a great question because it's a bit tricky. The one that goes to the shower is glass.
Okay.
But then you have a door that basically lets you enter into the bathroom space, and that you can close it or open it, and it's wood.
Okay. So there is privacy when you go to the bathroom because some of these
Yes.
all-inclusives are all
Go
glass.
ahead, tell about it.
No, go. I mean, I think one of the
Well, in one of the bathrooms. Oh, sorry. You were going to say.
I think one of the most funniest.
There's a button, a switch, while you're literally sitting in the bathroom.
Oh.
And you can
And
decide.
You can push the switch, and if the screen in front of you, which looks out to the room,
Yeah.
can become clear as a window, or if you flip it, it becomes frosted.
Right.
Wants it clear as a window.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Why is that a thing, man?
it depends on your view, you know.
I guess so. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. That's
But
fair.
it's interesting because it's like initially, if you walk in the bathroom, you might be like, "Oh my gosh, what is this?" But then you
Yeah.
you push that and it changes.
Yeah.
That was
okay.
neat.
That is cool because that's you wouldn't think it's a problem, but it's a problem in all inclusives where
Yeah,
like the
of course.
toilet stall door is like see through.
Oh yeah,
It's like,
Yeah, that's-
bro, what are we
that's
doing
okay.
here?
yeah.
It's crazy.
And then you got his and hers sinks.
Oh, nice.
True.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty big
Yeah.
room.
Room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty big
Beautiful
room.
room. King
Just-
bed, TV, couch.
Absolutely loved it. Really, really. Oh, one important thing is they hired over 100 of the best Mexican artists to design this hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So anything you can think of, it's like, wow, really well done.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
Anything you look like, even like the giant pool,
Yeah.
they have like what would almost look like different blocks connecting you to different restaurants. So you're
Yeah.
walking across the pool on blocks in your clothes and there's people swimming around you. Does that make sense?
Oh, wow.
You're
Yeah.
walking over the pool, but if you misstep, you're in the pool. So it's
Interesting. Okay.
Like we saw some drunk people one night and they're kind of stumbling across these blocks of the pool. I'm like, you're going to fall in, but they made it.
We made
All
it.
right. All right. A
That's
little,
cool.
little adventure there. All right.
Oh yeah.
How was room service?
Room service was nice. We got it once.
Yeah, and I think one good thing when you're on a honeymoon is you want to tell everyone.
Yeah,
So-
for sure. Absolutely. Get those perks.
Oh, exactly. So I did say that we were in our honeymoon, so they gifted us a bottle of rum and I think some
Nice.
chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's you don't know what you're gonna get,
Yeah.
but I think it's
Yeah.
a neat thing to just see what the hotel offers.
Yeah. It's sometimes like it's a fun game. Like, what's going to get you better perks? Being a travel agent or saying that you're on a honeymoon? It's like a fun game to play.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Both.
Yeah. I'm a travel agent on my honeymoon. Do I get extra benefits?
All right. So now on to the meat and potatoes of why this park is just so epic.
Okay. I'm excited.
When you book a stay at either the Hotel Xcaret or Hotel Xcaret Arte, you get complimentary access to the 4 adventure parks, which are in the Xcaret ecological zone.
Yep.
Now, adventure parks, what are you talking about, Brian? Are those, that sounds kind of chintzy? Is it cool? Yes. We're talking like almost Disney Universal Studios quality parks.
Wow.
These
Oh,
are
yeah.
epic parks. And we'll kind of go over,
Each of them.
yeah.
Let's go.
Ready?
Yes.
And so, well, first off, each resort has shuttles that take you back and forth to the 4 parks.
Oh, are they that far apart from one another?
It
Sort of
depends
like
on
a
the
Disney
park.
World?
Good point. So 3 of them are super close to the 2 hotels.
Okay.
We're talking you're in the shuttle for 3 to 4 minutes
Okay.
per park. And then there's one of them that's like they put in a different city.
Gosh. Okay.
So that's a little annoying.
Yeah.
And
It
we'll get to
was-
that one, and then maybe we
Yeah.
can say a little bit about our adventure to
yeah.
get there.
Sure.
So
That was the only one. It was still amazing.
Oh, yeah.
But I give that one a 2 out of 5.
the shuttle,
No, that park.
the park. Oh,
All right, you're right. Actually, maybe 3 out of 5.
Okay.
I mean, the other one's 5 out of 5.
I would go a little higher, but okay.
Oh.
Well, first and foremost, the first park is called Xcaret Park. And Christina, you and I did not go there.
No, I've been there like
You've
in
been
the
there.
past.
oh, okay.
But it was pouring rain, so we
Oh, when
really
you were
didn't. Yeah, we didn't get a chance to relook at it. But what I remember, it was like a lot of animals and just more of a scenic view and just seeing different.
And I hear it's also,
Species.
there's a lot of historical parts.
Yeah,
It's a look back into ancient Mayan Mexico
Cool.
to go back into here's what a historical town would have looked like in walking. That's what I've heard.
yeah.
And so,
I think this park is geared more towards children and families.
we saw tons of families with
okay.
little kids getting off at that stop.
right.
Sure.
And I understand because once you hear a little bit about the other parks, you're like, I don't think my kid is going to be really into it. But
Sure.
this one
Okay.
does seem to be for every age.
Yeah, Xcaret Park. So that's all we can really comment on that.
I mean, we can say the shuttle takes you to Xcaret Park.
Yeah.
Is that
It's
a
the-
quick one?
That is a quick one.
Yes.
It's named after the hotel.
Yeah.
So I guess if you're going to go, I mean, I think everybody is going to want to go to this park just because it seems to be the one.
Iconic.
The
It's
iconic,
like the
exactly.
flagship.
Right.
First off, each of these parks, if you're not staying at the hotel, you are welcome to go. I saw the prices at $140 per adult.
Okay. So like a Universal Studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the quality of these parks are up there.
Yeah.
It's just totally different concept,
Yeah.
but execution-wise, it was great.
So if
Nice.
you go
Okay.
140 times 4 parks
It adds up.
to 560, hold on, 400.
520. You said 140.
I think it'd be
times 4?
560. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Or-
700.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, that's times 5 parks, babe. There's
Oh,
only
I thought you
4
said
parks.
5. Apologies for
140.
that.
Well, I could just go 700 minus 140, which is
560,
560.
yep.
Okay. So that's first off,
We
per
got that, we
person,
got that.
that's quite a savings.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when you see the price of Hotel Xcaret and your travel agent quotes you, you're going to be like, that's a little high.
Yeah.
Just remember, if there's 2 of you going, that's over a grand in
$1,000.
savings.
Yeah.
But, and also know that you don't have to worry about the transportation
True.
and security of it. So,
Yeah.
what do you value?
That's true. Yeah, if you're
Okay.
staying in Cancun or Riviera Maya and you want to get to these parks, you have to pay a shuttle to also get you there, plus
Sure.
the entrance fee.
And it's like 2 hours away round trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
Let's do Shellha next, babe, because
Sure.
it's not my favorite. And it was
Okay.
the one that was like a 40-minute drive from.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So for this one, I just have this little info. So Shellha is a Mayan word that means where the water is born.
Gotcha. And water was very much a theme of that. park.
Right. Water is everywhere. This is like a gigantic water park.
Yeah.
that sounds sick.
It
I love
is. I mean, I think I would agree with Brian. I think it offers the least of the adventures of
Well,
the parks.
Here's one of the things that rubbed me the wrong way. The moment you walk in, the first thing you see is all these dolphins.
Yeah.
And you see people swimming with the dolphins and people doing the dolphin rides where they pull you.
Yeah.
That was all extra cost.
Right.
It's like, oh, so right off the bat, they hit us with a paywall,
Yeah.
that was pretty quick. You
Sure.
know?
Yeah.
And this
then-
is a theme in this park.
And there wasn't there stingrays?
Oh yeah, there was a lot of things and
Extra
some
cost.
of extra cost. And I counted them and there were like a lot, maybe 8 or more
Like,
activities.
already? Like we just walked in and already the first, like, and if I was paying full price, 140,
Oh,
that's-
yeah.
to then immediately be hit with it, paying extra, it's like, come on.
Yeah.
That seemed a little
And
cheap.
dolphin interactions, I guess.
Yeah.
Those are not cheap. Those are really expensive.
True.
Like I have the little
These
map.
dolphins get paid well.
Yeah. Good.
I think
They earned it.
I have the little map of the activities that we had in this park, and if I do like a rough estimate of how many, I already see. Yeah. One thing I want to say is that this park did have food.
Oh, the food was all inclusive.
Okay.
So
Is that not the case with all the parks?
It was the case with 2 of them.
Okay. So 2 out of 4 are
Yeah,
all
12.
Other
Rough
2,
estimate
yeah.
of 12 activities that you have to pay for.
Wow.
Did you guys get food being a person staying at the resort?
No, it just
or
if
you
the
also-
moment you enter, whoever enters this resort does get to eat at the buffet for
That
free.
park.
That park.
Whoever
Sorry,
entered. Yeah.
sorry.
Sure.
Whether you're paying $140 or you're a member or you're staying at Hotel Xcaret or Arte, when you go to this resort, everyone eats.
Gotcha. What about the resorts that don't include food? You have to pay for them
like
also?
Senses, remember that?
The parks that don't, you have to pay for it.
You have
Okay.
to pay extra.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder why they did that. Okay. Sorry, continue.
And then this Shoha, I think one of the major, attractions is the water slide.
Yeah.
You can't miss it when you're in the park. It is huge.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's white and blue. It goes up, I don't know how many feet, but it has the option of you choosing, if you want to go to the white or the blue.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I mean, I guess our wait time for that water slide was about 35 to 40 minutes.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's towering.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's pretty big. Yeah, that's pretty big.
It was a very cool water slide.
Yeah, it's for all ages again. I mean, you had kids, adults, everything in between wanting to join
that was
water
fun.
slide. Yeah.
And then after that, we took the shuttle to the top of the river and then got in little floaties. And there is a lazy river that takes you through a big chunk of the park.
Get to do some
I want to
tubing.
clarify, when he says shuttle, it's not the same shuttle that takes you to the park.
sure.
It's more like a train.
A tram, yeah. Or like,
yeah,
a tram.
exactly. And
It was fun.
You have the option of walking there or biking there or taking the little train.
Nice.
And then, that was fun. You're floating through a river which has beautiful trees. And there's one area where there's sticks that are covering you at all angles. And you're kind of like a tunnel you're going through. And then there's these random bridges with like a cliff. And you can go up and jump off the cliff.
14 feet.
And right before you jump off, go figure, there's a scanner. You can scan it. The picture gives you off to the other side of the river. There's your camera with flashing, 3 times, and you jump off the cliff, and it gets a cool shot of you.
That's
jumping
really
off
cool.
Oh,
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was awesome. We both did. I think there's 2 cliffs. We did the first one, which was the tallest one. And
then you keep going down the river,
Right.
and then there's another area where there's like a slack rope for tightrope walking, And there's also zip lines that take you into the water. And,
we did those.
Oh, that
also.
sounds sick.
Yeah, it was.
Wait, this
it
is the
was-
worst part?
Yes.
Well, this is because
Exactly.
it is not high, like the zip lines compared to the other ones. These zip lines are just not tall, maybe 8 feet.
Wow. Okay.
And then you fall in the ocean.
Did they have a wave
No,
pool?
river. I'm sorry.
This
One did not.
We'll get there.
Yeah. Like, what else did we do? We ate, as we said, and then we walked.
They had like pina coladas and stuff. That was all inclusive. It was good.
Okay. How was the food as a whole? Like resort, park wise?
At the resort, it was 10 out of 10.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
At this particular park, I would give it a 4 or 5 out of 10.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it kind of
It was extremely traditional, authentic Mexican.
okay? And we hate
Yeah.
No, it was good.
I just couldn't find a lot of stuff
that you could eat.
No, not that I could eat even. But it was not a lot of stuff that looked appealing.
Okay. Sure.
All
right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah.
In this park, also, I mean, again, you do have the option of doing plenty of other activities if you decide to pay for it.
Sure.
Like, for example, you put your feet. The little fish.
The little fish.
Oh, yeah, I've done that before.
Okay. Yeah, that was cool.
Fish therapy.
They also had something which wasn't working while we were there.
Oh,
and it was a
The bike. It was a bike that it's zip bike. That's what
zip
it's called.
bike through the rainforest.
I
so you're on a
guess.
zip line on a bicycle going. That makes sense.
Wow.
Obviously,
Interesting.
additional cost on this park,
is
but
it?
we would have totally done that one.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's just
And it is mandatory that when you're going to do the lazy river, you have to wear a life jacket, and then you have to have the tube to go
Oh,
down.
interesting.
zip.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, it
it's
looks sweet.
like you're like hanging out, like you're
Yeah.
underneath the zip line.
Correct. You're
You're not
underneath.
on the zip line.
Yeah,
I was
you
like,
see
man,
that.
that's a lot of balance needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Good luck.
We got some little gift shops and stuff. We got
Sure.
some stuff there. I think that was the park where we mostly got stuff.
Christmas shopping.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, nice.
So other than
It was
that,
just funny because we missed the shuttle to go there. Because this park is so far, it doesn't have the every 15 minutes, here comes a shuttle. No. It was like, we take people at 9 a.m., we come back at 5 p.m.
and you have, so this is again very important. You have to make reservations for that shuttle. We did not know this. So,
So Christina, with her Spanish and her brilliance,
yeah.
she got, because we missed the 9 a.m. shuttle, by the way.
Yeah.
We walked out to the main road in Cancun.
But wait, let's explain how we got there. We took the shuttle from the hotel to another park.
Yeah.
And then at that park, we were like, do we want to do this park now?
Yeah, because it was open till 11 p.m.
Exactly.
And the other one was only open till 6.
Right. So we were like, we technically could do both today.
Yeah. Let's go do that other one that closes at 6, then let's come back here until 11.
Right.
Nice. Okay.
So we went to the Soha, which is the water one.
No, we went to explore.
Right. I'm sorry. From Explore, we went to the Soha. But how we got there, it was first talking a little bit of Spanish to the guy that worked there and asking him, how do I take a bus to Soha? Yeah. How do we do that? So he said, well, you guys have to walk to the main road, take a public transportation to the bus station, and then from there, take another bus that will take you directly to the park.
Yeah.
This all sounds very easy once you know it.
Yeah.
But while you're doing it, it is very adventure-y. You don't know, for example, what does a bus station look like in Mexico?
Sure, yeah.
It does not look like the ones in Puerto Rico or here in the States.
There's a lack of buses. It's like 12 passenger vans everywhere.
Yeah.
Good luck finding the one that's going to Shell.
Right. So he was actually very kind and saying like the name of a supermarket we should look for. And he said from there, just ask the people where to take the buses.
Okay.
So we did that for the first bus. And then, for the second bus. And then from there, when we got to the park, this is not a shuttle, so it does not leave you at the entrance of the park. It leaves you
on the side of the road.
on the other side of the road.
Half a mile to get to the park.
You have to cross a bridge, and then you have to walk to the park.
So you guys really had to earn it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then you have to pay cash.
Yeah.
So that's...
I could have never done this alone, by the way.
Sure.
No one spoke
I think you could. I think with your
At that bus
phone.
station, I was a target. I was the only one who looked different from everyone else. What's funny is we stayed till 6 p.m. when the park closes to learn that the last shuttle back to our hotel was at 5 p.m.
Right,
So
because
then
we
we're
surely
like-
thought, okay, you got us once, but not twice, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now we're wet because we've been in a water park
Oh, yeah.
and no towels either.
No
So you
towels.
just relying on air dry.
I promise we are.
So
very
that's when I was like,
responsible.
taxi. We're doing a taxi.
Oh, yeah.
And there was no Uber options like that would come out that far. So we
Yeah,
got in a taxi. It was $40 and
yeah. And then we got till the hotel. The park.
the original park.
Wanted.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, our second one that we can talk about if you want to.
So no, it'll be our third, babe.
Oh, our third. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're at
You're right,
option number 3, which is called Explore. Each of these parks start with the letter X, so it's kind of fun. Xcaret, Shellha, Explore, and So at Explore, go ahead.
No, Explore is this park that you can have it in two versions. Yeah. We decided to go to the night one, which is called Explore Fuego.
Correct. Yeah. During the day, the resort's called Explore.
Yeah.
And then at 8 p.m.,
I
the
think
resort transitions to Explore Fuego. And
Spicy.
So now you get a lot of fiery stuff. all over
Fire
the park.
everywhere, very dark.
It's also dark. Yeah.
So it's
This one was the most exciting.
Oh yeah, you're in for an experience at that point just by looking at it.
The first thing we did when we got there was we did the ATV dune buggy off-roading on a track. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're good. But I was gonna say that we need to wear a helmet.
You have to put on helmets.
Sure,
And you get in these 4-passenger 2x2, 4x4s, I guess.
I would say so.
Which looks like you're in like a Jurassic Park Jeep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I got to be the driver. And there's no track you're on. You are very much steering this at night through a dark path. It's like the path is lit. So you got to stay on this narrow path.
Very narrow
Going
with a big.
pretty fast with this ATV, you know?
Yeah.
And
Wow, that was such an adventure
it was
because
such a rush.
we
It's
thought
it's 3 miles.
I was gonna say that we thought it was like a 5 minute max.
Yeah.
It was
And then
like
it just kept going.
15 minutes.
Good 15 minutes. Going through caves.
Yeah, you go through 3 different caves.
sweet.
Yes.
It literally
You
like
go over bridges.
narrow turns.
Yeah. You go up a little cliffside mountain and back down it. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun.
It
we
was
did it
so
twice.
much fun.
It was so much fun.
We had to do it
Okay.
twice for sure. Because when you get to that park, there's so many things, and I think the most popular one are the zip lines.
Yeah.
So somebody, I overheard an employee say, the little cars are empty. You should go over there first.
Well, the cars were way better than the zip lines, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I agree with you.
You did not want to do the zip lines.
But years before, like 10 years before, when I went to explore during the day, I already had done the zip lines.
Correct.
So I already
was not the
knew
first
the
time for you.
experience. Yeah.
So I did the zip lines by myself while Christina ate at the buffet.
Yeah.
Waited for me very kindly. Yeah. And the zip lines, it's like you walk up this large, what I almost call it, like it's like a suspended in air, not suspended, a real high up like pagoda looking thing.
Cool. Okay.
Kind of walk up these steps in a circular steps to get to the very top, and then you zip line to the next pagoda, the next station.
Oh.
And you walk up those steps and you zip line to the next one. And the whole thing, it's a 7 zip line course.
Cool.
Problem is, it does take a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I bet.
Because you're waiting at each station, you're waiting for like 30 people to go before you until it's your turn. Then you go to the next station, you wait for 30 people to go, then the next one, right? And it's really cool. I'll just say this. I've had the privilege of doing zip lines before. Mm-hmm. So it's not the first time I've ever done a zip line.
Sure.
And so I would say after maybe 3 of the sessions, and it's pitch dark, which is a cool thought.
Yeah, but you
There's
can't
not a lot
really
to
see anything.
Correct. So after 3, I would say
You're done.
I was done.
But you have to do all of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no way to
That's the only way down through the zip lines. Was the last one still like in the water?
The last one takes you into the water.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a very cool one, I would say, very refreshing. I mean, at night, I don't know if that was a good
Well, what's funny is, you're in Mexico, so it's going to be nice and hot. But it's also nighttime.
Yeah.
My phone, it was 74 degrees, which is
gonna
still
say, it's
warm,
also-
don't get me wrong. But when you're walking around wet and there's a breeze, actually it gets a little chilly.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Actually gets freezing.
Yeah.
So afterwards, I met you at the buffet.
Right.
Dude, they had beef ribs at the buffet.
Oh,
They
man.
were slamming.
Let's go.
They were so good. That buffet was good,
Yeah.
I would say.
Oh, man.
And even the desserts, like everything was good.
So is this your favorite park? Or we've not talked about your favorite?
No.
This is Brian's favorite one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the other one was definitely a close second.
Yeah. For me, this is the second best.
Okay.
And then we're going to talk about.
Is there any?
Your favorite.
There were other really cool things you could do here, the water.
Oh my
slide.
gosh, el tobogán. Yeah, it's called el tobogán, the water slide, which is chorrera in español for Puerto Ricans out there. But it's
Christina kept using her Puerto Rican Spanish in Mexico, and they're looking at her like, "We see you're speaking Spanish, but we don't understand what you're saying."
everything.
Something's
That
off
happens to
here.
me too. So I was gonna say that this water slide, what an amazing experience.
Yeah.
It combines different styles of slides together. It is gigantic. To give you perspective, you have to do maybe a 10-minute walk to be able to get to the top of the slide.
Nice. Okay.
Just walking to where you go down the slide is not for the faint of heart.
Right. And we did it twice. It was so good.
We're panting when we got to the top.
Yeah. It is so high. The water slide fits 4 people at a time. And mind you, for them to be able to let you go inside, they have to weigh you.
Correct.
Because they have to make sure that the way you guys, whoever's going to join you, meets the minimum requirement. You cannot go alone. You have to go with another person.
And you
Up
can't be
to
a group
4
of
people.
3.
Right.
You can be a group of 2 or a group of 4.
Right.
So there was a single guy from Minnesota who's like, "Yeah, I'm just waiting for our single rider." We're like, "Sorry, man, we wish we could help, but we're 2." He's like, "Yeah, I get it."
Yeah.
I just felt bad for him.
So yeah, there's a giant scale where you have to stand on and they weigh us. Yeah. So once the weigh-in is complete, we then do like the 10-minute walk up a hill. Very long walk.
I'm glad that they have the
bridge.
scale at the beginning before you do the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if people can't do the walk, honestly, I don't think there's an alternative way to getting up there. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Once you're up there, you have to wait maybe for like 3 minutes.
Sure.
And then they'll put you in the little which
A 4-person.
Was it a tube?
Yeah.
yeah, tube. Going down. Wow, what an experience.
Is it like lit up?
Some
Yes.
parts are lit
And some
up.
parts are pitch black.
Right.
Ooh.
And
Does
then
it have like the
The big cone.
Yeah.
Yes.
You go up and down that.
Nice.
And there was that thing where you go like the slingshot, like you go up one end, then you come back.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
It was this was epic.
It was great. And then at some parts you go backwards. And I think that's where you're really like, oh my gosh,
what's
I don't
gonna
know.
happen?
Exactly.
Shoot.
And at night,
And
that's cool. And it dead ends into their wave pool. And it
cool.
finishes, so that's pretty cool. Yeah.
So that's the
This
park.
park was epic. And there were other things we didn't do that involved more water, but I was just too cold. I was like shivering. So
Yeah. What else? But we zip lined the boogies,
I think that was
toboggan.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
took
I
a
don't
long time.
remember either. But yeah, it took a long time for that second ride. Because we did the toboggan twice. We did the cars twice.
Sure. All right, now let's get to, and this actually might even be my favorite park too.
Which one?
He's easily convinced.
Senses.
Senses. Christina's favorite. Which is crazy because 10 years ago, I would have said Explore was my favorite one.
Yeah.
But
Senses
now,
sounds like it's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, this resort's whole goal is to confuse your senses.
yeah, the parks.
Oh.
Yeah.
This park, sorry, thank you. This park's whole goal is to confuse and also make remove some of your senses to let other senses make
Kind
sense.
of, come into
So
play.
first, can I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
When you arrive, it's just even like it starts you off in like this main little central area where there's like this gift shop, and it's a little confusing. Like, where am I? It's a little overwhelming.
Okay.
First things first, we went to go to the lockers to put our stuff down so we could enjoy.
Yeah.
Getting to the lockers, like they take you through. There'll be like a bathroom of fire hydrants, and then a toilet, which is gigantic, and then one next to it, which is like microscopic, like super small,
Yeah.
and like.
And you guessed
there's a
it.
photo.
You can
you
take a picture
one can sit
there,
on a wall
yeah.
there. It's everything about it. It's just like the perspective, right?
Sure. Okay.
The couch,
I
which
don't
is
think I'm doing
upside
it good.
down.
Sure. Yeah. All these. Oh man,
It's just illusions.
lots of illusions.
Yeah.
Like if you've been to the Museum of Illusions in Washington D.C., you get it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
and they do cool stuff with cameras to make it look like you're upside down, or it's more than just like a funhouse weird mirror thing. Like it's pretty intense as you're just walking around, getting your bearings. Okay.
I would say that what you just said, like going in to Zoha, for example, you don't really have a path to go to.
Yeah.
You can go everywhere, and you know.
Okay.
But over here in Senses, it is you go into the gift shop, and it almost like has specific paths. You go
It's like
out
9
one,
different
in one.
tracks you could. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like
And you just like, all right, which one are we going to start with?
right. Once you start, then you continue that order all around. That would be our
So as we
suggestion.
start to go through it, I was like, all right, this is kind of cool, but it's also like seems a little chintzy. Like if I were a kid, like, oh, mom, look at this. I'm upside down. Haha,
Right,
Look at this.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not that impressed yet.
Sure. Yeah.
It's kind of cool,
Yeah.
but
It's not
that
blowing
cool.
your mind.
I'm
yet.
not blown away yet.
Yet.
Until we get to
So
our first. Go ahead.
yeah, man, one, go ahead.
Okay. We get to our first little experience.
Yeah.
And all we know that there's a long wait. We're like, let's just do it.
We had no
We must have
idea.
waited 45 minutes.
Oh,
Good, yeah.
wow.
And basically it's a cave. And in this cave, there's the opening with 6 different tracks. Each track has what I would say like guardrails on your right and your left. So you can't get off track, okay?
Okay.
And as you walk in, the first thing they do is it's pitch dark. You cannot see your hand 2 inches from your face. I tried multiple
wow.
times.
Yeah. Mind you,
they
before
removed-
this,
Yeah.
you are barefoot.
Oh, yeah. They make you go barefoot.
You have to leave
And-
your shoes to the side, which is odd because in the other parks they encourage water shoes.
Sure.
But here you have to take them off.
Required to remove your shoes. And there's just so many warnings of if you can't do this, turn back. If you get scared while you're in the cave,
Turn back.
or here's the protocol.
Oh, right.
Wave your arms up in the air and say this. They had a word like help or I don't know, whatever it was.
Ayuda.
Yeah.
Ayúdame.
Ayúdame, there you go.
And the 45 minutes we're in line, we're watching this video on repeat about
Safety.
do not do this if you're pregnant. Do not do this if you have this. Do not do this if you're
pregnant.
Asthma.
Yeah,
Whatever,
exactly.
whatever, yeah.
and if you get scared, here's what you're to do. We're like, wow, what are we getting into?
Right. We had no idea. No,
Yeah.
we didn't have Nothing in our
told us
heads.
what-
And
yeah.
no one told us. And then we are seeing little kids, adults. It's like, how bad can it be?
Yeah.
And then, but as we're there,
As we're about to go,
we keep seeing people that went before us turn back.
and they were too scared.
And they're saying like, no podía más. I couldn't take it
Yeah.
anymore. And they were like, oh gosh.
What the heck?
Sweet.
What kind of
So
cave
what
are we walking
happens?
into? So the whole theme of the cave is that you're walking through the desert at night, and you will you'll get to experience the sounds, the feels, not the tastes and the smells of walking through like a Mexican desert at night.
Yeah.
But you can't see a thing.
And then I think a lot of people commented, because I was outside waiting for you, that initial step you get, it's just so hot. It scares people away because it's not you get a gradual experience of just being calm and then more intense.
Yeah.
No, starts off just being hot and humid. And
They
you're
also,
like,
they don't let
dark.
you go together.
Right.
They give a very long space. So I couldn't catch up with Christina. They let her go at least 4 or 5 minutes before I was allowed to go in.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
Which is
And
why
we-
this takes
Jeez.
forever.
Yeah.
And we couldn't even go in the same path because there's 3 for men and 3 for women.
Correct. They don't want you, because you could technically, if you caught up to someone, you could reach over and touch them in the dark, which would be creepy.
Yeah, sure.
So they
you can do
separate the
some-
men and the women.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Nothing
Sure, that
gross.
makes sense.
So while at one point, maybe you're grabbing onto a guardrail on both sides of you, your right and your left, that then turns into, this is the feeling part of it.
Yeah.
During this cave, that turns into a rope.
Yeah.
And then after the rope, it turns into, it's just plants on both, and you're just feeling different, like these like plants on both sides of you as you're like inching your way forward, right?
Yeah, because they
And on
instruct you to walk like penguins.
Correct. On your feet, you're going through sand. Then you're on a suspension bridge. Then you're going through water. And then the sounds are the creepiest part because they just blare in your ears like a crowing, like caw, caw. And then like the sounds of the wind. Then you feel different winds and stuff and smells, and it's creepy.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking, I'm a 36-year-old man. I've seen a ton of scary movies, and I'm scared.
I want to do it.
Now, how on earth? Because I think they let
10-year-olds
10-year-olds and up go in. I'm like, how are 10-year-olds doing
by
this?
themselves. I think it is.
Oh, yeah.
If you were like 6 to 10, you could go with your parent.
Yeah.
You had to go with your parent.
Sure.
I'm thinking like, how are they doing this? That's why so many people turned around.
Right.
And it took a good 10 minutes of walking through the pitch black to get through it.
Oh yeah, and then it's so funny because it's so dark you can't see anything. What you see at the end,
How it finally ends. Go
it
ahead.
is a light. You just see
It's
a light,
like a candle, like a lantern.
and then
Just ahead of you.
and it's funny because your
So small.
instinct just
Make
tells
it
you
bigger.
follow the light.
And as you walk, and it feels like it's a mile away.
Yeah, you just
keep
walk.
walking and walking towards that light, and it gets bigger and bigger. And then you finally get it, and then you're in a cave, and the lights guide you through the rest of the cave to the way out. But through that path to get out,
What do you have?
no, say it.
Pictures. You have more scanners for them.
Opportunities. True.
Yeah, which are
And then-
beautiful.
Yeah.
By the way.
And the cave takes you on a path to where you're outside, but there's a waterfall and rocks and stuff.
yeah.
And you keep walking through it as you start. It slowly exposes natural light to your eyes to kind of get you warmed up to it. And then finally you're outside in the natural light. And Christina was waiting for me. And we're just like, what the heck did we just
Right.
experience?
And
That
I think it was-
I wish all my friends could do this because it was like the coolest thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure I'm going to be able to explain it. And I don't think we really did it justice, but it was.
Yeah, I think
mean, it
that
was
park is
truly cool.
underrated. Like that
sounds
is
really
so
cool.
cool. And then I found it funny that there was a lifeguard in the cave.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
Oh.
That's probably to come rescue you if you had to.
yeah, I know, but it
Yeah.
was like, okay. Yeah, well, there was a bit of water. Yeah. Anyways, another cool thing is once you got out,
Yeah.
there was a tree that you could get lemonade out of.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
so
cool.
imagine like just what would you call?
Everything messes with your senses, like an actual tree, and with the spigot, and you turn the
There you go.
spigot, and then you grab
A cup that's there.
fresh lemonade starts coming out
Yeah.
of it.
Wow.
It was all fake, but I mean,
Yeah.
it was
It was
just-
great, the
just cool
illusion,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
More illusions.
Right.
So then we're like, well, this park probably couldn't get any cooler. And yet there was some additional very cool things.
Very cool.
After we finished that, the cave thing,
you went,
it kept saying, go to the town.
Right. But in order to do that, you needed to walk back again to the center.
Oh, yeah.
Where the shop, like the little.
Like the membrane of this whole thing.
Right. Where you
to go out to the next track of the next portion.
Right.
Which was the town.
The town.
Now, the town is built. It's a single street with shops on the right and left of you.
Fake shops.
It's all a fictitious town, but it's tall. We're talking 40, 50 feet high.
Yeah.
For at least half a mile, or maybe a quarter of a mile. And as you walk in it, the whole town is built as if it's getting smaller and you're getting bigger. And as you're walking down it, you feel like you should lean forward, but actually, or you feel like you should lean backwards because it's getting smaller, but you're actually going up a hill. So your body's tricking you and it's like falling over. Like, actually, you need to, because you're walking up a hill, you need to lean forward, right? But your body wants to lean back because you're walking, because the whole city is getting smaller on your right and left.
That's so cool.
Will, this was insane.
Yeah.
Everyone's freaking out. Everyone's taking pictures and laughing. Well, not freaking out, laughing.
Yeah.
People are falling over,
it.
just laughing.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening? The workers, they seem to master it because they, work there. They kind of just like look down, close their, like squint their eyes and just kind of walk where they needed to go.
Yeah, I saw some people covering the side of their eyes and just focusing on their steps. Just like looking at their feet and just focusing on that. For some reason, apparently that helps.
They were scanning areas to scan everywhere.
Yeah. Everywhere.
And everything made you look like a giant or miniature, and your partner looked like a giant or miniature at the same time.
Or like you're in the ceiling.
You're on the ceiling while the couches are, that was one of, like, you could go into different shops.
Wow.
Of this whole street filled with shops on the right and left, fictitious, probably 20 of them you could walk inside and get. Maybe 10. You could get pictures.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds so cool.
Finally get to the end of this town, it finishes into a chapel. You walk in the church and they have trampolines everywhere.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. And then after that, you enter.
Exit the chapel's back door.
Uh-huh.
And then you enter the cave area with, go ahead.
Which is another toboggan or water slide or chorrera.
Yes.
Which... when you see it, you, again, unless you've been there before, you have no idea what you're signing up for.
Sure.
So basically, it's a circuit.
It's a circuit of 5 things. First, you do the water slide. When you finish the water slide, you immediately, after you get out of the water from this cool water, so it was a cool, not as cool as the other two, but it was cool.
It was cool. We did it twice.
It just, you follow the path and you're in line to do the zip line.
As you're wet.
As you're still wet. And they have this whole team that just loads you up with the zip line gear.
Yeah, let's pause there.
It's not just a zip line, sorry.
It is very structured.
It's a flying thing. Oh, yeah.
A bunch of
people, employees, and vests.
Oh, yeah. Lots of vests.
You lay on your stomach, and it clips onto your back, and you go down the zip line.
Like Superman.
Like Superman.
Yeah.
And that was epic.
That was great. And also pictures are being taken as you go because you have to scan your wristband.
Correct. And that's when we learned we were on track 205. We're like, oh my gosh, there's 3 more things until we're allowed to exit, right?
Yeah.
So then track 3, do you remember?
Was it the mud? Whatchamacallit?
Yes.
Like a lazy river made out of mud?
A lazy river. Well, first there was not mud, then there was mud. 2 lazy rivers. Remember that? The first one was just like water.
Okay.
And then
they get you really wet so that mud sticks.
And then the next one is a lazy river of mud.
Yeah.
So you go through that and then you shower off.
Yeah. And these rivers are different than the one in Soha because these ones have tracks.
Correct.
Soha is just open water river.
But you're going through caves, skinny, narrow caves the whole time, by the way.
And this park, you don't have to wear a helmet.
Correct.
Okay.
Good point.
Only explore.
And now, was kind of cold at this point because
Yeah.
the mud and the water weren't that. Yeah. And then you dump buckets of water in yourself to wash the mud off. Then you keep going to the 5th track, which is a sauna.
Uh-huh.
But it's not a sauna that you just go sit in. It's a sauna. It's a narrow cave,
Yeah.
and you just keep walking, and it gets hotter and hotter as you walk through it. It feels really good.
To be honest
That was
with
my
you,
favorite.
I could do that circuit like 4 times and just stay
Yeah.
in that park because it's so fun.
Oh, it was so fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds really cool. I was not expecting that.
Yeah. And that park is the one that you can't eat. I mean, you can buy food.
Yeah. I would imagine that would be the park where you have like one of those meals where they turn off all the lights and they bring it out to you and you eat in the dark, you know?
Yeah.
That'd be a good one for that.
Yeah, I think
Great
so.
idea. There you go.
That was called Senses. I just want to see if I can find a circuit.
Census. Yeah, and then we just took a bunch of pictures around different illusions and stuff that
Yeah.
they have. Because once you finish, you have to go back down where the town was to get to the main center area.
Okay.
There's that little gift shop, and then there's some like hearts, like art of hearts and different stuff. Very, very neat that you take pictures. So I wouldn't say this park takes that long.
Sure.
But I would say if you want to like redo it because you had so much fun,
fun.
you could. And I think this is the one that closes earliest.
Okay.
So-
That makes sense. Yeah. Because they don't really need to be open that long.
But it's
Okay.
very good.
Well, cool.
Yep.
Any
Yeah,
closing
no,
thoughts?
we got
Brian?
it all. That was it. So
Wait,
actually, I think so. We got the whole circuit. Is what I meant.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the restaurants at the resort.
Sorry. This resort, Hotel Xcaret Arte, the adults only
Yeah.
one, has 9 restaurants.
Oh yeah.
First one is called Jacques. It's Yucatecan flavors of Mexico. Delicious food. Kibi, Middle Eastern food. Chino Poblano. It's a Chinese-Mexican fusion.
Which we
that was
went to, and it's like by courses.
Yeah, they serve us
Oh.
9 courses.
Oh yeah. And
Each
they-
one has a Mexican and Chinese flair.
Right.
Oh, cool.
And then he the waiter explains everything and is the one to pour everything in your
It's like a bed
your
of
plate.
noodles with the poblano chili on top.
I love it. Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, it was an
cool.
experience
They
for
had
sure.
Beijing duck tacos. It's like, oh my goodness, yeah, it was.
Definitely
cool.
smaller, meals.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very
9 course.
good.
That'll,
There's 9.
yeah.
Mm, yeah.
They had Cantina VIP, which
we
was a
went to.
very trendy mezcal cantina Mexican vibe.
So good.
They had tell about the vegan restaurant.
But that cantina, we went the first night. We didn't even know. They just, what is open at this time?
Yeah.
That was open. So we went.
Yeah.
And it was so good. I recommend it.
Yeah,
But I would say the one that really surprised
your
us.
favorite. Yes. Go ahead. I liked it too.
Yeah, it was good. It is a vegan restaurant called Apapashoa,
Okay.
which basically it's a play on words because apapasho means hug.
Oh, okay.
So the whole concept of the restaurant is to make you feel warm and fuzzy inside and like the food is comforting you. And so you feel hugged.
It was fun. I mean, they had stuff like you get like a double cheeseburger and a steak. It's all vegan though,
All
Wow.
vegan.
and it tasted good.
Yeah.
Really?
I was blown away.
We went twice. We went for dinner and then we went for breakfast.
I also had very low expectations because I've just not been to many vegan restaurants. We went to one in Houston, but-
Right.
which was good.
It was
But Other
good.
than this, I really
They got to be
I was shocked.
really good to just like
It
be
was
around.
Oh, yeah. And
so
it's,
good that we went back a second time.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I wanted to. It was
Yeah.
that good.
oh, yeah. It's on the right because I've been a vegetarian, but I don't think you've ever
No.
gone down that road. In any case, this was at the Casa Paz Peace House.
Okay.
Most definitely, right? Like because of
Yeah.
a hug and stuff.
Yeah.
And then it's on a rooftop.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean,
Beautiful views
Beautiful.
over this complex you're in. They had a few other Mexican restaurants as well as Tashida, which was a Japanese Mexican. We didn't go to that. That would have been fun.
we had reservations, but we were, and this is what I wanted to say earlier on. Based on the park's hours and availability, you have to put your reservations for the restaurants or for the activities in the casas
Sure.
around that because you don't want a reservation for an activity at a casa at 2 p.m. You're going to be at the park at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you might want to wake up earlier and get that done, and also make reservations for the restaurants. There are some restaurants that have like Michelin star
well,
chefs.
that's what I want to get to. The last one. Go ahead.
What's the name?
There's a restaurant called Encanta.
Yeah.
It's a fine dining Mexican, and it's got a Michelin-starred chef.
Oh, wow.
It's an extra fee. How much was it?
It's like $200 a person.
Sure. Yeah.
So I think there are like 3 restaurants that you have to pay for.
So we walked by it, and it was dead. There was no one inside. They were like,
Right.
"Would you like to come in?"
Zero.
We're like,
Literally
$400.
0 people
Yeah.
inside.
we should have gone, but we didn't.
Plus all the, I mean,
It's almost never worth it, honestly, in my opinion. I've
Yeah.
been to a lot of Michelin star restaurants. It's almost never worth it. Unless they're actually like affordable Michelin star. And you're like, all right, yeah, this is good.
and I mean, with such a great resort like Xcaret Arte,
Yeah.
and the food, and because we also have Mercado de San Juan.
Which is like just
A
the main,
market.
like a buffet you can go to for breakfast, lunch, dinner if you don't want to get dressed up.
Yeah.
It's great. It has variety, pasta station, taco station, rice.
Speaking of dressed up, when we went to Chino Poblano,
Yeah.
the fine dining fusion, there were some girls in front of us, and one was wearing flip-flops, and they were like, "Hey, you can't do flip-flops in here.
Sure.
Tell you what, we have an outdoor area. We'll still let you eat here, but you can't eat inside the restaurant."
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay. Good for
Interesting.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So dress code. You got to dress up for dinners.
For some of the restaurants for sure, and you want to. You see other people very nice, so you want to do that too,
You don't want to
So-
stick out.
right?
I guess I just want to say, and then that San Juan that market,
Yeah.
the buffet was so good because they had some of the best guacamole I've ever had in this gigantic dish. You could take as much as you want without feeling bad, you know?
Oh yeah.
It wasn't like Chipotle guac's extra. It was like load up anything you want guac on. It was so good.
Ooh.
10 out of 10, we would say.
Yes, 10 out of 10. So who is this park for? I would say it's for those who want epic food and adventure and have the budget. It's not cheap.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
It's famous for, as we learned, for honeymooners.
Yeah.
There's there was a ton of honeymooners
Yeah.
there.
All ages 16 plus, I will say 90% were between 20 and 40.
Yeah, I would say.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
There
sense.
were a ton of people my age there.
Yeah, it's an adventure park. You're going to get a younger,
Yeah.
like,
and I would-
millennial.
I was gonna say the little cafe that saved us. Like if you're going to a park that doesn't have food, you can just grab and go, like a little sandwich and
Right at the
coffee.
exit. Walked in there, just loaded up were delicious sandwiches. We just started grabbing them and ran.
And
It's like just all inclusive.
Okay.
Probably one of the most important things. This is not a resort you go to for 2 or 3 nights.
Okay.
Even though your budget may only be able to afford it. Sorry. You got to go for at least we were there for 5. You got to go 6 to 7 nights.
Wow.
Yeah,
Because you're missing out on so much if you go for less.
Okay.
Because there's so much we didn't do. We did a lot.
Yeah. Well, Brian was a little under the weather.
I also had the flu the first 3 days. Fever the first 3 days.
So we had to, be considerate of that. So we really didn't
I would have
risk him.
loved more time in the river, at the
Yeah.
pool. I would have loved more time at the park. I would have liked to see the other park. I would have liked more time at the parks.
Yeah, I think the parks, we would have
I
done
could have
more
gone
parks.
back to the parks.
Yeah, for sure.
I would have liked to explore the resort more.
Yeah, but the service was great. I mean, I think as you're saying, I don't know how much the rooms go for, but I would say
I mean, this resort, as I price it out for all right, 7-night all-inclusive package, 2 adults from Cleveland to Cancun, round-trip airfare, round-trip airport transfer, 7 nights all-inclusive. I mean, we see some beautiful resorts for $3,000 to $4,000 out the door total for 2. This one's going to be that $6,000 to $9,000 total for 2. So you're doubling your budget to go to, and in my opinion, and this is
So
my
worth
outro,
it.
the best resort in Cancun I've ever been to.
yes,
Wow.
100%.
Yeah.
Great service. Great
It's
Earn that
that
price.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool, guys. I appreciate you guys sharing because I've always been really curious about Xcaret since learning about it. It's always sounded really fascinating, and it sounds like you guys had a really great honeymoon, and I'm really happy to hear that. Yeah, well, Christina,
you.
thank you so much for hopping on the podcast. It was a pleasure to.
Guys.
Is this your first podcast?
Yes, and it was so much
Wow.
fun.
You
Thank you
are
for
First
having
of many.
me.
First of many.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
And thanks, Will.
of course. All right, guys, that's it.
We're the travel agents, that's the end of our show. Make sure to comment and subscribe.